World building is possibly the most fun aspect of writing. Creating worlds that seem unique and interesting for your characters to live in is so much fun. When done well, you can give your audience clinical depression from not being able to live in the world that you've made. When done terribly, you'll cause confusion, irritation, and people throwing your story into the hot dumpster fire where it belongs. And you also get a surprise visit from me, armed to the teeth, to slay your sorry ass for thinking it was okay to put out some sorry nonsense like that. To prevent that scenario, I, Matt the Creative, your local lunatic who's put hundreds of hours of his life into storytelling and creative writing, and today I'm going to show you how to world build terribly so that you don't end up on my kill list and are able to make astounding worlds. Now, first things first, we gotta look at your characters. Yeah, I know we're talking about world building, but we first gotta look at them. Or in this case, because we're world building terribly, we're gonna completely ignore them.
They're not relevant to the world building process.
Even though characters are the point of view that we see and experience your world from, and they have to actually deal with the world that you have created. Just allow your world to be the equivalent of a beautiful but empty fish tank. Give it all the fancy decorations and set up the most efficient oxygen system, only to leave out the star attraction of the fish tank in the first place. The fish. Do this, and I can guarantee you that people will deliver your story straight to the dumpster fire. And I'll be coming to visit you to finish the job by sending you to the human equivalent of the dumpster fire. Hell. So go ahead. Make my day, bitch. But moving on to the flip side of this, your world building should serve as a way to enhance the development of your characters and the story. After all, the setting, plot, and characters are all going to end up bleeding into each other anyway. It's very difficult to, if not just straight up impossible, to make a story without all taking in all those factors. Now, I understand the desire to get into the nitty gritties. You want to write and create all these cool environments and technology and civilizations and such. But characters serves as the bridge for all those things. So take them into account as your world building. So now, I've got a question. What do you think is the most annoying and boring trend in world building and in stories in general? I'll give you about 5 seconds. Try to guess. If you guessed information overload or something close to it, you'd be wrong. People totally don't get bored when they are given just a massive exposition dumps. No, not at all. In fact, the audience will eat that shit right up, and is the easiest way to get people involved into your story. Right? Now, jokes aside, we all hate that shit. Nobody is trying to listen to an unwanted and unnecessary info dump. It is the easiest way to kill your story in your audience's interest, and is also the easiest way for me to find an excuse to take you down. So again, make my day, bitch. Instead, when trying to world build, you need to make the details of your world actually matter to your characters. And you see this with almost any decent story. An easy example that comes to mind for me is in the show Black Clover. In the first couple episodes, the main character, Asta, goes out to try and become a magic knight because he wants to be the highest level, the Wizard King, at the end of the story. And he goes to try out to be a magic knight, to join one of the Magic Knight Brigades, which is overseen by one of the Magic Knight captains, who are looking for new recruits. However, he has no magic power, like, at all, and he gets absolutely ridiculed at the tryouts. It's here that we get a picture of how the society works. Those with high magic power are at the top, and those without are at the bottom, and are looked down upon by those higher up. You can usually get away with making the main character of your story unaware of said details, or you can show them dealing with the aspects of your world. And in my personal opinion, the latter of the two is the superior choice. Show don't tell is often a good rule of thumb. So in short, just make the details of your world building matter to your characters. Else you risk scaring off your audience before they can even get super invested into your world. Now going into creating your world, I know that you want to create a whole bunch of unique details, technologies, and magic, which is again, fine. After all, that's kind of the whole appeal. But don't get too carried away. Because unless you are trying to know literally everything about your world, just for the sake of it, you're often going to fall into a deep trap. World builder's disease. This is when you get too caught up in playing God and end up creating more for your world than you can even realistically show, and end up putting off actually writing your story. Star Wars has an entire galaxy at their disposal in the main movies, though I know it gets expanded upon way more in the video games, and in the comics, and the books. But within the films, it's just a couple of planets. They didn't have to go out to every other planet in solar system because it simply wasn't necessary. And chances are it's not necessary for you to have every little detail sorted out either. In fact, the opposite actually helps to make your world feel bigger and more real. In Star Wars, there are tons of different races and creatures that are flying around, and I couldn't name what they are at all. Like, don't even try me, even if you held me at gunpoint. So ask yourself, what won't you show? What won't you tell me? And hopefully you won't tell me your address and social security though. Though, if you do, thank you, because it'll be that much easier for me to come and slay your ass if you decide to come make some hot garbage. So for the third and final time, please make my day, bitch. Now, if you're looking for a community of like-minded individuals who share your love for creative writing, I have good news for you. I've just recently created a community where you can all join in and talk with me, learn about creative writing, talk about all the tropes and other fictional things that you love. And the link is in the description below. Come join and let's all create together. And that's all I have for you today. Like and comment your favorite worlds in fiction. And I'll see you in the next one.